Shaboop, shaboop. What's up there, cool cats? What are we talking about here? We're going to talk about Path to Exile. And look at that one. That's a beauty, isn't it? Yep. These are from a pretty heavy-hitting modern deck. And you know what? They're just fine in there. But if you're playing these in EDH, like you're playing a mono white, you know what? Okay. But you might be playing them wrong. And I'm going to tell you why. So let's say you're playing these in anything but like a mono white deck where you're really hurting for removal. You are going to want to use this on yourself if you're going to use this. Do not use this on your opponent. In cedh, to use this on an opponent is insane. Because say you're going against some 3 or 4 color decks, you are essentially mana fixing your opponent here. So as long as your opponent has any basic land card, you are gonna, 2 and 3 color decks, 2 color decks, the monocolored decks you'll come across once in a while in cedh, you are going to find that you are mana fixing here. You do not want to do this. It's not worth it generally to get rid of a creature. There's a better way to do it. So you're going to want to use these on yourself. So if I'm running these in a cedh deck, it's one of 2 reasons. It's definitely not to remove spot removal of my opponent's creatures, certainly. So, Swords to Plowshares. I love the artwork on these cards, by the way. It's awesome. But in cedh, I do not want to mana fix my opponent, So I have a card I run. It is a white removal. It is 1 mana. It is an instant. And I like this better for that single creature removal. And this is that card, Mana Tithe. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. So this awesome card right here is amazing. So early game, late game, when mana is of the essence, okay? This instant, not only can it save you, as long as you have 1 mana to pay, it can save you, it can stop this counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. There is no advantage to giving our controller a land here. We can get rid of a creature. It's an instant. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. So for that slot, if you are running Path to Exile in a cedh or like a high power commander build, stop right now. Unless you absolutely want to have this kind of removal and for some reason that kind of mana fixing, you're not scared to let your opponent's mana fix. But right here, this Mana Tithe, man, I'm loving this card. I actually, I'm trying to think what I took out for that. Actually, strangely enough, I cannot remember for the life of me what I took out for this, but I switched something. Something I switched for that. And I thought, man, I bet I'll be switching this back. But I have loved Mana Tithe. It is so fun to play, and it's so versatile because not only can you counter a problematic creature as long as they're tapped out and don't have that extra mana, you can counter things that are going to happen to you as well. So that is very cool. So I'd recommend Mana Tithe in your commander builds over these Path to Exiles 10 to 1. Not only, I believe the card is a little cheaper too. These are fine. It all depends on what you're playing. Fine, I think in Modern, this is a fine card. An awesome card. In this color, you don't have red. You're not running, like a lightning bolt or something. You need that fast removal like that. Where mana fixing isn't necessarily... Well, I guess it is in a way, but it's not necessarily like as detrimental as in cedh where that person can be like, oh, that, I'm going to get that one little mountain I needed there. So maybe it is. I can't say. I don't speak because I don't play as much Modern on like that level as I do as like the cedh, but food for thought right there. Mana Tithe. Mana Tithe. You got to have those who seek to upset the balance must be taxed for such ambitions, right? And go ahead and tax them, huh? Hey, easy there, Tony. We're going to tax you for those ambitions, mister. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and I have completely forgotten some complete brain fart of a complete order of a complete product that cost me completely $80 on Amazon completely plus tax. I forget the complete price, but It's completely not a complete set that's going to be completely here next week. Hopefully, we completely wish we could have got it sooner, but we're just a hack, guys. What can we say? But completely join me next week for the completely complete.